Right, so, Oregon. For me, Ollie, bit of a dogfight of a map. Always going to be close. Always reckless in terms of how the rounds get played out. You never really know who's going to step up to the plate. Oh, look at that. Wow. Bang. Right off the rip. Jackal ban for Liquid. We've seen that be highlighted quite a bit by Joystick. That was the operator he transitioned on to, which gifted him some kills. And it was a bit of an annoyance for a team like Team Liquid who want to try and play in these sneaky positions and try and keep that roam game alive. That's a good ban.
Hit him where it hurts. Empire only started to gain rounds on the attack when they started to bring when Joystick started to bring the Jackal in conjunction with Lion, even sometimes in conjunction with Nomad was enough. Fairly standard bans coming out for the rest of it. So Thatcher, Wamai and Cade is going to be removed. And a Jackal ban, that sort of harks me back to some late night ranked demo.
Jackal ban. To be fair, Jackal ban, back whenever Jackal was extremely strong before his C7E got a little bit nerfed. Like, that gun used to be the strongest in the game that we've ever seen. It, you know, he used to walk around just two-shot people in the chest very easily. And even before the changes to how his scanner worked, where it was just immediate pings. There was no distance, no color coding with their footprints. It was instant. So Jackal has went through a lot of changes since he was very big inside of the meta. He is an operator that gets played every now and again, but it's not to the same degree that you would expect other operators who get chosen over him. I think Liquid just respecting the fact that Empire were in a bit of a situation where things weren't working for them and they needed to pull out rat strategies, perhaps? Would that be a term to use? Because, I mean, whenever Empire are up against it, they will do everything they can. They don't care what strategy they go for.
I mean, nobody remembers how pretty it looks, demo. People just remember the score, and that's something that, you know, people do often forget. When
that's the phase play style.
But it is, you know, it doesn't matter how you get there. It matters what the end result is, and if that is, you know, using some of these things that can be seen as, you know, a little bit maybe less honourable. You know, I think about lying down as a smoke with a shotgun at a 90-degree angle. It's not pretty, is it? But it's going to get the job done.
I mean, I thrive for those kind of plays because I am also one of them.
I mean, that's you've got to do what you've got to do, and in this map and in this round, Liquid and Empire are going to do what they need, what needs must to try and get the job done. I like the addition of the Legion. We've seen Nesk, he's 6-picked onto that Legion from the mirror. That could be something that they're looking to try and just deal with this roam game with a little bit. You know, it's sometimes something that we see when a shield is being regularly played. You're going to bring a Legion, try and deny those plants. They can be placed in a myriad of locations. You can try and use it as an early warning system, or you can place them in the site and try and, you know, deny any sort of plants that are going to go down in the dying few seconds.
We were seeing a stage, a 4-man roam game from Liquid, 4 players towards the mid-floor trying to support one another. That has slowly been dropped off now as Empire started opening up some entrances into the building, and it has chased some of them away. Empire were thinking about perhaps a west side take, but then seeing the extension that Empire had to go through, which would have been the kitchen hold from Liquid, they thought, you know what, let's just fall back. Let's not try and move that. Instead, a blue take will be where they go, and it's been a quick rush, and they've lost their 90-player Liquid down a hefty man now. And they're going to have to try and stabilize and stop the bleeding for as long as they can. But everyone from Empire piling in. Cypher's still on the ground, bleeding out as he goes. Down and low HP also has to be careful. Potential smoke could finish him off. Moringa gets down and killed by always a nade. That's been dropped because he's got the kill. Oh my word! Oh no! Empire have had a nightmare. What a kill from PSK, and he's netted 2 nades from the Martyrdom. Oh my word, you will never see anything like that again.
Unfortunate stuff there for Empire. They attempted a rush off the back of sledging open the barricade, and for a time they were stable. They were managing to hold their ground, but it just wasn't going in their favor. Sexy Cakes played a blinder there, managing to stay alive, getting himself back into the site, able to throw out his Toxic Babe canisters and just harass and continue to be alive. He's got the diffuser down, and I think he probably knows it at this point. All it's going to take is a quick wiggle around that wall to get that information, know that that's where the kit is, and then he's going to be able to keep a tight hold of it. Shepard going to throw out his last nade there. It gets caught up in an ADS. Nobody playing inside of the spot anyway. There's 30 seconds left for Shepard to try and make something happen here, but Liquid aren't giving him anything. He's going to try and wiggle his way around, pre-firing as he goes, but no one really on the side of Liquid in any significant danger here. 15 seconds, that's 5 seconds per kill. This is when the swings may start to come. Shepard finds one, but not a second. Too good with the refrag, too good with the trade. PSK there grabs that final kill. Liquid can breathe a sigh of relief, having been helped out quite significantly inside of that round.
That's a stinker. That is just... no words can describe it. Never seen a double nade kill. Sure, we see the odd nade happens and it hits a teammate and they go down. Sure, yes, we've seen that before. But the fact that we have just seen Cypher cook a nade, being ready to toss it into E-Box, a swing comes in from PSK, downs the nade player, the nade gets dropped, and because, of course, they were all trapped in blue, what happens? A double nade kill. 3 kills for the price of 1, pretty much for PSK.
It's a shame as well, because it was going so well for Empire at a time. We can see this is almost seconds before disaster really leading up to everything here. Cypher, he throws the nade. It's actually going to hit Zofia. It's going to hit Dan in the back. Then the swing comes through. PSK able to capitalize on that. The nade obviously dropping to the floor and doing the rest.
I thought it was PSK killed him, but no, it was just Empire. Just... I mean...
I think that's just how muddled up they were, though. They'd gone for the rush, and they'd immediately been stopped because of the Goyo shield. Now, the Goyo shield there should have been droned out. It should have been known that that was there, because you can go and rush in, but then you've got the Goyo shield to try and deal with. I'm unsure and unclear as to whether it was Sexy Kate that actually detonated that shield in an attempt to save a little bit of time and to stop that flood, or if it just got taken out as part of collateral damage, someone on the side of Empire removing it, or a nade, or whatever it was. But that Goyo shield was really crucial there, and it was able there then for Liquid to just buy a ton of time off the back of it. Sexy Cake able to stay alive, PSK with a couple of nicely timed swings. Tough stuff there from Empire, and a shame because they tried to inject a little bit of pace there into that round, and it's just been removed entirely.
And I was loving it for a period. I like the fact that Empire have noticed that Liquid are a little bit weak in terms of holding the bomb site. If they get that opening engagement in towards blue, then they will have a very clean attempt at taking that. And, oh, Dan, a very early kill on the Paulu. That is a difficult angle. Very, very difficult to land through that pixel, but Dan makes it happen.
Patience really paying off there for Always. He's been a standout player so far in this series. I think he was the only player to break double digits in kills over on Cafe, and already setting off his Oregon game pretty strongly as well. He's going to give control over toward that big tower and allow Empire to start pushing in from that direction. Nesk has managed to find Always there. 1 of 2 hard breaches gone. It's going to put the pressure on Empire here, because now they don't have the luxury. They're not really going to be able to open up sufficiently into both Attic and the games room wall. They're going to have to choose.
Liquid going with another kitchen hold, so they do this for not only their basement site, but also for their top floor. Nesk, unlucky not to get that kill. The spray missing and Joystick still in that great position. See if he can make anything happen. Oh, actually glides past the angle being held by PSK, and just takes a bit of time to back away now. Empire looking for potentially, I think, an Attic into double window take. I think that's what I'm kind of eyeing up. But then again, Cypher has actually rotated over to bedroom, so Empire trying to control nearly every which way you would think that you would try and attack this bomb site. They want to do it all.
This is where the lack of a Hibana is really going to start to hurt. Always getting taken out there as the first blood on the side of Empire is going to really slow this process down a lot. Attic has been opened, but Shepard has to make a full rotation now. He's still got plenty of gas, so he should be able to get through that games room wall, but it's a much trickier endeavor. PSK going to be at the bottom of these laundry stairs, threatening now on the flank. 2 drones left for Empire here. He's very unlikely to be caught out here on this drone. It would be quite unfortunate if that was the case, so he's just biding his time, waiting to strike.
PSK waiting the call from his team to make his way up the stairs. Empire getting a little bit choked out with those toxic babes. Cypher's been able to walk into the bomb site. Moringa, oh, he does fabulous inside of the Attic, and PSK on cleanup duty as well. Oh, Liquid, they let Empire walk on in because they know everything's on lock.
Everything well and truly on lock. Losing always, losing the Hibana so quickly. It was always going to be a difficult task there for Empire, and they spent so much time doing not a lot. We saw Joystick waiting on those armory stairs for what felt like an eternity. PSK, the patience of a saint there inside of that round. Picked his moment beautifully, picks up a double in the dying few stages. 15 seconds, that was always on the clock when Empire started to walk on through. It was a push that was coming through single doorways. It was always going to end in that fashion.
10 seconds left. Attackers have located
Liquid, extremely strong. You have to give credit. I mean,
they lined up
quick
beautifully.
turnarounds, you know, just everything working for him. Liquid, good hold, and that's 2-0. And Empire almost falling into that same trap that they were the last time on Cafe. They're giving Liquid these rounds. Ollie, Liquid, a team, if they have that momentum and they know they're going to win a game, they will win it. It's very rare that we would see Liquid ever really choke matches. I think whenever they win it clean, and whenever they lose, they just lose. You know, there's no, okay, they look as if they were winning, and then they get reverse sweep. That very rarely happens to a team like Liquid.
It was demonstrated in the first map there, though. You know, Cafe, it wasn't going their way and toward the end, and they took that tactical time out. They were able to hit that reset button, and they are a team that can, you know, mentally reset quite quickly. I think you don't see them down bad for long. Particularly, you know, over the course of this competition, we've seen them have, you know, an upset here or there, and that's ultimately how they found themselves inside of this lower bracket. But usually they are able to pull on through. That's going to be massive. Traded instantly, as is the Liquid fashion. No kill gets let go for free. Joystick will be taken down there, but he does manage to take Palu. Palu's struggling to get involved in terms of kills inside of this game, but it matters not. One of Nesk's best games in recent memory is, in fact, on this map.
PSK using Impact. See if he can deny access to that attic.
In position to knock it down.
Makes a rotate as well, so Empire going directly in from dining and looking for a kitchen take. Usually, I think for EU standard of play, we see a lot more of the big tower be pressured. Teams will take in towards tier 3, open up the meeting walls, and then it's pretty easy, I think, just to kind of walk and go for a plant. Very difficult for defenders to challenge those long angles, but no, Empire going across the grain and going somewhere else.
It can be a difficult approach to make as well, because you need to take that vertical control a lot more thoroughly. That's kind of demonstrated here as Sexy Cake. He's got a line onto the breach that's going to be getting opened, or at least attempted. Even hits them with a little bit of an impact trick. Always hasn't got any more X-Kairos pellets, so I mean, that hole really isn't going to provide all too much of an angle. Dan now looking to push in upstairs along with Shepard and try and force these roamers out. It's going to be both Nesk and Sexy Cake playing in that area. Scyther joining the fray as well. Looking to create a little bit of a pinch here, but they need to time this perfectly. If you give these players the opportunity, very quickly going to be able to pick you off. Nade being cooked there by Shepard. That's going to go on in and just destroy a little bit of utility. Lifeline as well coming out from Dan. Nice nade there tossed over into the attic, and it is going to do the job. Sexy Cake, though, finds himself too. He's managed to take down both Scyther and Dan there, and is looking for the third. Shepard, the diffuser carrier, with 30 seconds left, is going to be on this top floor. And it just feels as though Liquid know where he is. He's going to start to get pressured a little bit here by Sexy Cake, because he knows he's doing nothing but wasting time here, and that is perfect. Pre-fire shots come in. Sexy Cake anticipating the second swing, but will drop himself back all the way into the freezer. Look maybe for a rotate and try and challenge onto the white stairs. Shots coming in vertically onto Always, as he is likely going to fall here. Moringa securing that down. There's Toxic Babe canisters yet remaining as Shepard desperately drops on into sight. No time left to do anything with Liquid there. 3 clean rounds on Oregon.
Sexy Cake having a blind river around all. He gained 2 kills and also being able to escape the kids and still keep himself in the game. Liquid, another round for them, which has looked dominant again. Empire, I'm lost for words. What is it with this team on Oregon where they just cannot find even just any stable foothold? Everything that they're trying to go for, it seems like a bit of a grasp. It's not something that they're holding firm. Something that can easily be hit away from them, and that's what's happening.
even with the opening pick inside of that round, it wasn't enough because of how quickly it was traded off. It was just nullified instantly. And I think in that instance, Empire need Joystick to clear out that roam game more than Liquid need Palu to harass that roam game, because we saw just how much work both Moringa and Sexy Kate were able to do on their own. Now, we've seen a tactical timeout here from Empire. I don't believe they used theirs inside of Cafe. They're going to use one here and now on Oregon. As they've lost 3 rounds, they've seen 3 sites, they know what they're going to expect now, and they need to try and come up with a strategy and a plan. To be fair to Empire, we haven't seen them execute anything onto the downstairs site. A rush can't be classed the same as you would an execute. We can't take that and say that's how they want to try and play this round. So they're going to be able to discuss, they're going to be able to figure out what's going wrong in the other 2 sites, bring a little bit of the laundry into the conversation as well, and just figure out how they are now going to approach this. Because at the moment, Liquid, they're not only tearing away with this map, but they're tearing away with the series.
Empire do know that if they lose this game, they're out. This is where their road will come to an end. They need to give everything that they have. Don't sit there and think, oh, we're going to save something for the next game. Focus on this game. You're not going to get to the next game if you don't win this one. So give us the Empire that we know. The Empire who took everyone by storm inside of Group A. We had very little expectations, and they surprised all of us. Why are they reverting back to that EUL form? Where is the Empire on LAN?
Now is the time for them to show up. Currently 3 rounds down on Oregon, an entire map down as Liquid took Cafe 7-4. Do or die time here for Empire to try and give us something. They don't need a lot here. Let's just stress that, Demo. They don't need much more than a 2-4 split. That would be commendable. That could be enough for them to be able to take this map and to take us onto Coastline. We're not asking for them to come out with 6 flawless attacking rounds. We just need to see some sort of a response. A 3-3 would be a dream at this moment in time.
Basement, once again for Liquid, they've done a full rotation. They have defended their free-picked bomb sites. The only one that they did not go for is the dining and kitchen site. And they're going to go back downstairs. So last time we were here, Empire went for a bit of an audacious push in free blue, a 5-man push in free blue. And there was a misnade, and it cost them 2 players. So Empire, hopefully Lightning doesn't strike twice for them. They will have an easier time. But I don't think that same rush will happen, Ollie. That's one thing me and you have talked about in depth, especially from a team such as FaZe, who like going for those quick, aggressive rushes. It doesn't work twice.
I mean, we say that, yet both our breaches are currently stacked up outside of blue. And you just worry that we're going to see a similar result again. Flash is going to go out to stun and burn any of the ADSs. Nade gets tossed on through as well. Always now just going to be holding the small angle into electrical box as the drones start to work ahead. There is going to be another shield played on 90, albeit this time a little bit further back.
Yes, great placement.
Goyo shield just at an off angle onto the door. It's enough to provide cover with the ADS, but eventually will be burnt as well. Dan now able to provide pressure from these stairs. This is already looking a lot better from Empire.
Yeah, this is by the book. This is what we expect from teams attacking onto this basement. A lot of utility in towards that blue. It's much tougher to gain control of your setup compared to if you're going for a freeze or laundry take, but the execute is much easier for teams. It's well worth the utility and the time, and probably a bit of frustration as well. Getting rid of Elbow is a very difficult position, and PSK swings for all he's worth. Eliminates Shepard. Also, that backstairs getting pressured by Empire, but they've decided to rotate away and perhaps move over to the E-box hatch. But look at the position of PSK. He is still in that position that he can cause mayhem from. He's peeking again. He wants these kills. Sexy Cake as well has moved into a better position. Hatch isn't even open. Empire, what are they trying to go for? Dan has now made a reckless attempt of pushing by himself towards Laundry, but that's going to be an easy shutdown. Liquid just have to hold the angles and stall out Empire.
Finally, that hatch is getting open now at around the 30-second mark, but it feels like too little too late. Joystick going to try and push his way down these rear stairs. Nesk, he's able to take down Always. Screw that, he finds a second onto Joystick. Sexy Kate comes in as well. Palu will find the final frag. Only Dan able to respond, but it's just nowhere near enough. Liquid, Another solid hold, and Empire, another questionable attack.
Are they speaking to each other? Why is that hatch not open? We see 2 players on the back stairs, and they ran away, Ollie, because there was a simple Banshee. Yet they have a Sophia right beside Joystick. He is an Ash. I don't understand.
There's some bad coordination there going on.
I don't know. And then Dan thinks, oh yeah, I'll just push laundry by myself and get nothing.
We saw, I mean, we were concerned initially when we saw both hard breaches stacked up there outside of blue, because already that tells you that the hatch isn't going to get opened at all, and if it will do, it's going to be very late. Empire tried to come in with quite a dynamic push there toward the end, but it was just nowhere near enough. I don't think anyone on the side of Liquid felt any significant pressure there. Four clean rounds here. It's Oregon, it's the defense. I still think we've got reason to be worried here for Empire. They're just not showing us that level of coordination.
PSK and Nesk in that scenario just peeking whatever they want, knowing that Empire are not in any positions to get the refrags. I mean, Nesk getting that double kill with the Scorpion, Ollie. He's not a one-trick. He can play anything and kill you, which is always great to see from Liquid. And I think out of every team here, Liquid are the team that can adapt to any operator. It's something that we looked at and highlighted. 3 of their players have Jaeger as their main operator. They can play everything. We see the changes. Everyone's playing this operator, then he's playing that operator. The only one I think doesn't really change is Moringa on Smoke, but then again, your Smoke player is a necessity, and you would expect one guy to solely main that. But everyone else, they don't care what operator's on, they'll kill you. They don't care.
Even then, Moringa will have a Jaeger round, and Sexcake will play the Smoke, and it'll all just get juggled around. The guys really do have a lot of fun just switching it all up, and we
high flex players, like that's what we're dealing with.
We're dealing with a dead Dan, I'm afraid, as Palu is going to find an opener with the C4. Just into tier 1 there, as he's able to gain some early intel. Losing the Zephyr this early on as well, it's only going to hurt you, really, isn't it? It's another kill that goes unresponded to. I think back to whenever Liquid get the opening frag, it rarely gets traded. Whenever Empire get the opening frag, it gets traded. Liquid are never down for long in terms of that man advantage.
Empire, what are you thinking? I see the diffuser stacked up outside towards the kitchen area, towards dining, perhaps a double window jump, and I don't know what Empire could pull out. It could literally be anything at this stage. It seems to be that they're actually going to try and take in towards kitchen now, and they're actually going to try and challenge Nesk. This is an area that they did not want to aggress onto. They tried to see what was happening. Then they quickly switched up their ideas and went for an attic plus trophy push, just trying to walk in. It didn't work out for them again, and that's probably because they did not eliminate Nesk from this position. Now they've realized that he was a bit of an issue, and they're going to try and make an attempt on top of him. I don't really know how Empire are going to deal with Moringa above covering him, because that's always going to be scary. With that hatch being open, it gives Nesk that cover. If I'm Empire, you try and pressure that corridor that leads directly into the server.
Joystick instead going to start to pressure at the top of white stairs. He's able to deal some chip damage, but it is not enough to stop Moringa. He's able there to take down 2 in Always and Shepard. The kills keep coming here for Liquid. And Scyther, well, he has to go huge. Moringa, another Toxic Babe canister. 2 Toxic Babe canister kills inside of 1 round. And as quickly as it started, it was all over again here for Empire.
5-0. Empire have not even turned up to this game. This has been a strat session for Liquid.
Well, Liquid have still got a job to do in closing this one out. 5 clean rounds, looking to make it 6. They're going to go down to Meeting in Kitchen again, no doubt. Palu with the opening C4 there. I'm wondering if that information came off a Valkyrie camera, because there was a Valkyrie inside of that round. The round was over almost too quickly for us to really deep dive into it. But Sexy Cake played on the Valkyrie. He had a camera downstairs for Nesk, and Nesk was able to gain so much off that information. I wonder if that first frag or first C4 was down to that Moringa played a blinder as well.
Yeah, you can get a Valkyrie camera if you toss it outside a kid's window. You can actually toss it far enough and it will cover the big tower repels as well as the kid's window, which I'm sure is probably what you would want to cover off if you bring that Valkyrie. And again, just shows how strong Valkyrie is with that information, especially to help out Nesk. In that position for Nesk, he's very much by himself. Yeah, one man. You need to try and support him as much as you can. The positioning from Liquid were great, being able to get those trades off that. We've tried to push and say, Liquid, they do not let the man advantage get to them. They are always keeping it as even as they can. And Empire just struggling against that. Liquid looking like the team who will move on into the next stage. And Empire looking like the team who will be the next one to leave.
Certainly a shame here for Empire to go down so far on Oregon after they came in so strongly from the previous game into this one against Liquid. We saw both these teams storm their way through the lower bracket second round, now into the lower bracket third round, and it's kind of been no contest for Liquids inside of this one. You know, 5 clean rounds. They've not even been close, Demo. There's been multiple. I don't think we've seen a single 1 versus 1 inside of this game, have we?
No.
Not even come down to that.
There has not been anything that Empire have had that we thought, oh yeah, that could have been their round. It has not been pretty for them. Can they still pull it back? 5-1. I've seen it before. Never say die Ollie for Team Empire. They can easily themselves pull back a bit of momentum and sweep Liquid, but that is a very big ask from them. They need to get this round. A 5-1. It is doable. A 6-0. Never pretty. So, Empire, how will they attack this setup? Last time it was very heavy in towards Kitchen, and then they had around about like the final minute mark, they decided to try and take above also. Sexycake played extremely well in that position, picking up 2 kills, and surely not, yeah, I was about to say, no way Paulu gets misdroned in that scenario. He quickly drops down from that attic hatch. Empire have no interest in Big Tower once again, still sticking to their guns and saying, we will try and take above and then go for that kitchen.
I'm really surprised to see no one play in this big window, you know, because Sexycake plays in this exact location. He played it here the last round, and he's playing it here and now again. Well, I guess you don't need to play the big window if you're going to send Joystick on in. Able this time to gain the kill onto Sexycake, who previously had a massive impact in holding this top floor. It could give a little bit of an edge here to Empire. Unusually for Liquid, that kill hasn't been instantly traded, but we are going to see players looking to retreat, namely Moringa. He gets himself out of Kitchen and just backs off into meeting ever so slightly. We've got Dan holding the crossfire in toward flags as well, but Nesk kind of holding the cross onto him. Nesk almost looks like he's getting itchy feet as he feels like he wants to start moving around and maybe going for a little bit of a swing, and he'll swing directly into Dan there. This is much better here from Empire. They've managed to find 3 clean kills here, and they've still got 25 seconds to look to execute.
Empire, finally a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Paulu and PSK have a big ask for them now. 2 versus 5, diffuser being planted as well. Static not wanting to move. Oh, a great shot from Paulu. More of those please if we can. PSK with that LMG creeping in. But 2 players rotating above, and that long angle by Shepard from the breach is enough to send PSK on his way. And Paulu, 30 seconds, 4 players to find, and the other bomb site starting to get picked off now. It's a bit of damage. Oh, almost got the headshot. Ollie, were you getting excited for that one, were you?
It just looks clean, doesn't it? It would have been a very clean kill, but Empire deservedly get themselves around there. Much better for them on that roam clear. 3 clean kills, getting the plant down, getting that advantage and keeping a hold of it. It took them long enough to find an attacking round there. It took them right up until round number 6, in fact. Now we see the sides switch, and Empire have a mountain to climb.
Exactly right, Ollie. That opening kill for Empire was so needed. Dan, I think, was in a great position by himself, that kind of lone wolf mentality. There always is one lone wolf. No matter what it is, there's always one person who will sit and wait for the kills to come to him. That's exactly what happened for Dan, being able to catch out Liquid on the rotations. And Liquid, I think, today have been great, being able to be in the right place at the right time. On that situation, though, it was Empire in the right place at the right time. They have that man advantage. Liquid not being able to come back from that one. You know, Liquid, of course, we know they have the clutch potential, but that was a big ask from a player such as PSK, who we've seen a lot of clutches from him yesterday.
We did. He had 2 1v3s.
In the exact same position.
Still a chance here for Empire to try and streak some rounds on the defense. The more that they're able to gain here before Liquid get onto that match point, I feel the better. Because it is a game of momentum. Empire haven't looked so hot over the course of this series as a whole. They picked themselves up and dusted themselves off during the middle part of Cafe, but they've got to do a heck of a lot more than that here and now. They need some clean rounds. They need to find that consistency, those kills, everything that they've been lacking. I'd quite like to see them just play patiently, Demo, especially on this site. I don't think that it's necessary to get themselves out there and to aggress. They need to just try and play into these power positions. Unfortunately, that looks like what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they've done that. And Liquid, straight away, with their pre-placed drones, they've got complete control of that mid-floor instantly. They've now going to lock off the rotations. Those staircases will not be for use for Empire this matchup, but I think as expected, especially for Laundry, this bomb site is a very close comparison to what we see on Clubhouse, where we see the basement down there. Very rare we would see a strong room game coming out from the defenders. And you're more than likely going to have your set positions and establish that utility dump. I know that we talked about the utility meta and how that's, you know, something that died a long time ago, it feels like, but for this bomb site, that is still very much a strategy that we see a lot.
It's less of a dump and more a coordinated throw, I think. You've got to know where you're trying to deal with that utility. There could be a shield here, there could be a shield there. You've got to get your drones in and figure all of that out. Shepard playing quite aggressively here, not playing behind the deployable shield.
The drones,
instead, I think, yeah, like you say, just trying to starve Liquid of information here. Still got 6 drones left, so there's plenty of opportunity to gather that intel. But they've moved so quickly that they've given themselves so much time. Both of the hatches are open. There's players now stacking up on these rear stairs. Always is going to start to get pinched quite soon as well, as Palu now takes up that mantle and uses this electrical hatch. He can, of course, throw his grenade down there as well, as he does still have 1 remaining. Toxic Babe canisters now being burnt, and Nade maybe is going to get rid of that shield, just not quite far enough. That's going to give Shepard a massive edge here in this engagement. He's still going to be able to peek from around that shield. Palu above, he may be looking to try and drop into the hatch, but Liquid are desperate for any sort of in here. They just need a little smidgen of an opening. Got a ping and some information. Palu really tempted to get that nade on out there, but for the time being is going to hold on. A goo mine on the stairs could be a little bit problematic there for Nesk. He tries to deal with that with the breaching round. Always could be seeing some aggression here as he's looking for a bit of a swing, but still we are waiting for the push. Now it comes on through. Palu makes the nade land. PSK a headshot onto Always. All the kills are coming up here for Liquid. Sexy Cake's been down, but he's going to be picked up. Joystick goes massive. We needed that from him, but no, he will be shut down as well. Scyther now left with it all to do. 11 seconds left. 1 versus 2. Lots of damage put in there onto Palu, but the plant will be going down by Moringa. A pre-placed C4 will not land, unfortunately, for Scyther, and this is now a post plant. Getting swung from here and there, Palu will fall. The diffuser, I'm not sure if its location is known. He pushes on through, but Moringa with the cover. Liquid, they put themselves onto a match and series point here on Oregon.
Liquid, aggressive take into the bomb site, picking up their kills almost for Empire. Into a 1 versus 1, probably the closest round that we have had this entire series. But Empire, it got close. Finally, it got close. But it was not close enough for them to secure that round. Honestly, almost Liquid as well, losing it down to, I think the sledgehammer actually stuck out from the sledge. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's one thing you have to worry about if you're a sledge, that the sledgehammer is actually taller than the Sledge himself. So almost cost them, but Liquid are there to pick it up, and especially Moringa. He's playing extremely well so far inside of this matchup, just being that rock for Liquid that you can always rely on.
You got a feel for Joystick in that instance. He comes out huge from Pillar, swinging and wailing onto Liquid. Found himself to, could have very easily been a third if he just flicked a little bit sooner, and I think Moringa it was that took him down, just maybe wasn't anticipating him from that position. But again, it goes to show this coordination and communication that we see on the side of Liquid. Kills rarely go untraded.
6-1. 5 rounds from Empire is what's needed to keep them in the matchup and get to overtime. Liquid need one round from them. Big difference. Liquid have 5 attacks. How will they play this one? Same bomb site again for Empire into that basement. What changes will they make? No roam game once again, which will give Liquid that early advantage, being able to sweep in, quickly establish their control on the staircases. They have the Nomad for that reason, and then they can start setting up their control. Hatch will be opened up, then we'll see the blue come in. Just run-of-the-mill stuff from Liquid, not trying to do anything fancy, just sticking to what works.
Sexy Cake gone for the knock.
I'm guessing late laundry or potential late freezer. I think that would be my go-to for both of them if he was going to go for one. Probably freezer would be the biggest because you have a camera in freezer, and typically if somebody is dead from Empire, they will sit in freezer cam, and a lot of teams will just leave that since they have the default up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Sexy Cake moves in now, backs away. There was a drone following, but since he is invisible, Ash is going to take out the camera. Okay, wasn't going to go for the sneaky play. Instead, an entry knock is what they're going to be playing.
It works in terms of denying a little bit of that information. It keeps Empire guessing and keeps them starved. They do have mirror for intel, but
Are they going freezer take?
no cameras. They haven't got a Valkyrie, they haven't got the Echo, they haven't got the Maestro. There's nothing really for them to work off there. Could be a slightly different take coming in, but Liquid gathering that information from the safety of meeting. Empire choosing again not to roam, not to get themselves out there. Air jabs will be down now, so first floor going to be very safe place to be here for Liquid as Sexy Cake looks to make another rotation.
It's a blue take.
It's going to be the same take. I think you're right, Demo. There's going to be an option maybe to go through freezer if required, but immediately the pressure is going to come through blue. Sexy Cake there, just looking to try and destroy that Banshee, but it will be soaked up by the ADS.
The diffuse carrier is always a big indication of where a team are going to try and attempt to come in from. Since we see PSK rotate over with the diffuser to blue, that in my mind leads me to believe that we will see a blue take. Empire, they lost it the last time. To be fair, I mean, Elbow didn't have the greatest of holds from Liquid. It was easily retaken by Empire. It was more towards Pillar that Liquid really focused on, and that's where Empire struggled with. But 30 seconds to go. This is going to have to be a fast one, and Empire need to try and hold on. There goes the flashbangs. There is goo mines as well to try and slow them down. There goes the nade, and the Toxic Babe takes a lot of damage away from Sexy Cake. Here's the shotgun as well, and he's going to move in, but Shepard has the SMG in hand, trying to keep his team inside, and actually a late rotation from Paulu. Could that be enough to cause an issue? No, Joystick is there to shut it down. PSK swings in with 5 seconds to go. Liquid need to try and get this diffuser down. So many goo mines go off as well. Cypher playing close. He gets eliminated by Moringa. Diffuser being planted. Empire, are they going to retake? Yes, they will. They keep their heads in the game. One more round for Empire. 6-2. Liquid running out of time.
The push there just coming in a little bit too slow from Liquid. There was a lot for them to deal with, a lot for them to wade on through, and some opening engagements that didn't go in their favor. Once again, we see Joystick picking up a couple of very important kills there, able just to flip the switch and to give that advantage back to Empire when they needed it the most. Tough stuff for Empire here. They've got such a mountain to climb still. And Team Liquid, they only need to gain one more round here to take the series. Shepard's played that round beautifully from Elbow.
It's a big engagement he had to win, 100%. I mean, if you give that control away to Liquid, you're going to be cooked. I think Joystick as well played a big part, being able to kill Paulu as he was looking for a freezer drop. That played a big part. If Paulu was in that position of 4 versus 4, he could have picked up a few, maybe 1, 2 kills, and that could have completely changed the dynamic. Seems like we will be having a bit of a technical pause, perhaps, as yes, we will be. So, bit of time now, Ollie, to chill out and see how this game will finish out. For the most part, I think Liquid, sure, they've dropped that one attack, but we can also make that comparison to whenever they were playing Cafe. They lost a couple of defenses, but they still pulled out. They have that buffer.
When you're at a 6-2, you can afford to lose a couple of rounds. You know, we talk about momentum and we talk about all that sort of stuff. It does play a factor, but for Empire still, it's a massive task to be able to pick up 4 flawless rounds here without giving one away to Liquid, especially with the way that we've seen them both play. We are back into the game as we have had a decision on the rehost and it has been postponed for now. Empire looking to defend upstairs.
This is a good bomb site for Liquid to attack as well. I think for Liquid, they're great at being able to trap defenders in the bomb site. You will see them target a lot of different angles. You'll see rotations onto the double window, which I think, for me, is something that Empire really lacked on their kids' attack, was any pressure in double window. Just at all. You know, you pointed out whenever Sexy Cake was up there for their kitchen holes, double window would have been a great position to shut him down, but it just was not targeted. You will find Liquid, they will try and find any which angle they can. There is once again this downstairs hole that Liquid attempted, and Empire will also go for that. It kind of stops the pressure that perhaps like a buck, if it was brought, could have applied into, and also it can give you a lot of different angles that you can defend the bomb site from below in many ways. That's actually the way that Old Oregon used to play. Kitchen was everything back then. A pulse inside a kitchen, back in kid's bedroom with the double windows. Oh my word, Wallbang City.
PSK going to get in now and look to try and open up the wall. So I think, is he going for something fancier, Dem? Is he going to try and remove the top bar of the reinforcement? All the wood has been taken on out of there, so... Oh,
I think I might know why. It's basically, it cuts out the entire reinforcement, the same way that you would do with like the Maverick trick. I think this was a Macy J technique.
Attackers recovered the
Good stuff there from Liquid, getting the games room wall open relatively quickly. You know, they've spent 2 minutes doing it, but they've done it at little to no cost. Neska's seen some damage from below. He's essentially just going to be holding Always here and just trying to make sure that Always isn't going to be able to have an impact when the time is right. Pauli with a nade on through. He's going to get the down over onto Dan. Dan did toss out his C4, but it did not land. A C4 from below, going to swing and miss, as the diffuser is in the hands of Sexy Cake. Dan is still down, but could potentially be revived here.
Look at Paulu in the rotational ollie. He has now moved from double window over to kids. This is Liquid. They pressure every single angle. Cypher has eliminated PSK. It is a 4 versus 4. Nest has just seen Joystick walk past his screen, and it has meant that Sexy Cake has been eliminated because of that. Nest, though, still trying to hunt. Diffuser cold on the ground. Shepard finds another, and Empire ollie seem as if they're ready for another round. They still have more in the tank. Another round burned through for Liquid. Time, once more, getting the better of them.
The machine is not out of gas just yet, Demo. They are keeping chugging on. Every round that they are able to achieve here is one step closer to taking us to OT, potentially one step closer to taking us to our decider of Coastline. Liquid looks slow there. They were able to get the wall open, but it came at the 50-second mark. That isn't ideal. There wasn't a great deal of pressure coming through Attic. We can see that demonstrated there with how Scyther is able to just play and swing onto players that are on the kids' rappel. White Stairs was a bit of a point of contention as well. You can't afford to not pressure Attic.
Yeah, Liquid missing a few pieces. Usually if you're going for that take as you move in towards Generator, typically we see that Attic be pressured, which was not the case for Liquid. And honestly for Empire also, not wanting to take Attic, which is for me usually quite a big part of the round. We see a lot of holds be kind of made or broken down from Attic, depending on how well the defender inside of Attic plays. So yeah, strange to see. Empire though, this has forced them onto their third bomb site. Will be the dining and kitchen, not the meeting, which is what Liquid primarily played for. And they also, like Liquid, will be above inside of kids. Kids seen a lot of playtime on these third pick bomb sites, and well, I think it's for the correct decision. Whenever kitchen is the bomb site for both of them, it's going to make a lot of sense.
It's a big round here for Empire, because if they're able to get a win down here, then they've given us the clean sweep. They've given us the rotation there inside of Oregon, and they can look to start to repeat that process, go through the motions and find themselves onto that match point. We talk about the advantage that Liquid have got here. It does dwindle, and it dwindles quite quickly, especially when the frustration of not being able to convert starts to set home. So, a big round required. They're going to take control of Office for the time being. Dan going to be playing some long angles as he's got a chance there at some pot shots onto the doorway. Liquid very focused in their approach.
So what are the differences between this hold, which is going to be that dining and kitchen, compared to Liquid whenever they went for the meeting? Well, of course, the big one is going to be the bomb site choice, with dining being much more closer to the small tower, whereas meeting was closer to the big tower. You will see a lot more action towards that west side of the map. One thing that I think Empire have going in their favor for this bomb site, and it's probably the reason why I like it a lot more, is Showers is extremely difficult to take control of if you're an attacker. There's a lot of different angles you need to worry about with the advancements of how impact tricking has developed. Trying to go for any Habana pellets on the shower wall is going to be shut down. Interesting take, though, from Empire. Giving that Showers control over to Liquid, but then also reinforcing up the other wall. So now Showers has just become a box. Liquid don't get anything from it. And Empire, well, they've managed to gain a bit of defense. Dan, a great swing, and Nesk is off the board with a minute to go. They have that first kill, Ollie, which has been the important thing for Empire. So they have the first kill. Liquid are down a man. They don't have that same rotation that they can establish. And also, once again, that dominant effect of time.
Importantly as well, Nesk was actually trying to clear the bulletproof camera there, and that bulletproof will remain. Got taken out before he could fire the launcher. So there's still a camera there, and we can see that getting Z-pinged out here by the drones on the side of Liquid. With Showers being reinforced by some pocket reinforcements, it's made things very difficult here. Dan going for a bit of a rotation. We've seen some aggression maybe here as he looks to hold onto long corridor. Joystick going to be playing there as well. Liquid seemingly don't know which way to turn here. Only 25 seconds left. They're going to have to make some sort of a push. Sexy Kate going to make some lines of sight, but that isn't going to cut the mustard, I'm afraid, at this point. Joystick with a swing. He's going to be able to find a ton of damage. Another swing coming in from Moringa as he does take down Joystick. The kills now starting to come on in. Dan getting caught in the back. Sexy Cake, he has to try and get this plant down now. We have got some vertical pressure, but the kills are messy. Shepard, he's pushing in. The plant will be secured. Pre-fire shots go down, and Palu takes a chunk of damage. Scyther now coming in from this small tower. How much information do Liquid have here? They have enough to gain a kill onto Shepard. A C4 is going to be tossed on out, but it will not land. An air jab, that's not what you want to see if you are Scyther in this clutch situation. Maybe has an idea as to where the plant has gone down, but you can see he is starved for intel. Making his way upstairs with only 19 seconds left. It is looking like this is all said and done for Empire. They are going to struggle dearly here. 11 seconds goes for the drop. It is not enough. Sexy Cake finds the final kill. Liquid, they gain the game and the series here against Empire, and they advance through this lower bracket.
Liquid knocking out EU's last hope. Every European side is now eliminated from the Six Invitational, and LATAM once more, Ollie, have another team doing so well in this competition. A valiant performance from Empire. They tried their best, but they could not succeed. And Liquid, a comfortable victory for themselves, being able to make it a 2-0, and a clean one at that.
7-3 there on Oregon. It was a dominant first half for Liquid. They were able to once again gain that advantage early, the same way they did inside of Cafe. We've got some experts that are going to discuss that game for you.
I'm sorry, I just need a moment here because there's some European teams